Emergency. Queen's Quest arrived. Emergency. Queen's Quest arrived. Emergency. Queen's Quest
down to the queens.
Hello, ladies, gentlemen, everybody inside and outside of the gender spectrum, and welcome back to Stardom Quest Gold, the best weekly Stardom and Marigold podcast anywhere in the world. I'm, as always, Alex, and I'm joined this time by Scott. Hi, Scott.
Hello. If it makes you feel better, you're probably the only Stardom and Marigold podcast in the world. I don't think anyone else is just doing a show on both of those. So,
well, the Stardom cast guys do two.
Yeah, they do separate shows.
Promotions.
So I'm giving you credit.
Guess,
Like you're absolutely not
it's
lying.
the only one that does both.
There is no debate here. So congratulations.
Okay.
I'm happy to fill in for Dylan. Dylan owes me like $20 for this. Just letting him know. I also want to wish Mai Sakurai happy birthday because this comes out on her birthday. So shout out to my goat. And that's it. That's all I got.
Oh yeah.
Thanks for having me.
Birthday to the icon, the greatest, one of the greatest ever, you know?
Yeah. I call her the greatest, you call her one of the greatest, and Dylan hates her.
He does. All right. Well, heading over to there's a new URL. It's 5-star.network.com. No longer .co. We are now at .com for all the latest articles and podcasts from the wonderful world of pro wrestling. Heading over to 5-Star Network YouTube channel, which is where this and Actress Stage and No Limit Wrestling go up. I can't ask Dylan for an update on No Limit Wrestling because he's not here. So that's the plug out of the way. We are going to start with Stardom because I think they were on first, but also they have a big pay-per-view, so they probably should go first. Stardom versus outside of Stardom.
They both have big shows.
Yeah, but a pay-per-view is like a beyond a Cork, and it's a tier.
Yeah, because it makes people spend extra money.
Yeah, that it does. For Stardom versus outside of Stardom, we start in Seedling for Winter Ends in Shinjuku, where Ruaka beat Honori Hana in 7 minutes. I thought this was a really good match. I thought like Ruaka was just like grinding Honori Hana into the dust, and then Honori would just fire up and slap the shit out of her, and it was really beast. I really like hate when they invade other promotions. It just works really well because the home roster are like really fired up to beat the shit out of them, and the crowd is like really into it and really boos the hate interference and stuff. So I really enjoyed this, and I really enjoyed the post-match brawl and just everything they did here.
Hate only sends their best members when they go to other shows. So it's always Kamatani, Tora, Ruaka, Momo, and Rina. It's always those 5. Like no one else follows along, and it's like, oh wow, no wonder why this works the best. I wish the match went longer because I just wanted to watch them wrestle longer. I didn't get a Honori Hana shoot headbutt, so there's levels to this. We need to come back to this. Seedling doesn't do enough shows to like make this a thing, I'm sure, this year, but I would like them to do so. Ruaka has had a really good start to the year. I think that's like something that's kind of underrated about Stardom's first couple months because everyone talks about the big matches and Sayaka Otani and things like that. But I think Ruaka has kind of quietly stood out, and I think that's very exciting because this is the time to do that, right? This is kind of the time in her career where there's so much young talent in Stardom. She kind of needs to have these standout moments, so I'm hoping that she keeps piecing it together because she's been a beast.
Yeah, and with the new regime kind of willing to push anybody, she's a lot more likely to earn, a tag title win or a white belt match than she was under Rossi. So it's kind of like she's given something
not an
to work
artist
towards.
belt though.
No,
artist belts are only for like the superstars, which is so
like Lady C.
Odd. No, I just mean winning, not challenging.
But Lady C is a superstar. My goat.
Yeah, but God's Eye whatever. I'm not. God's Eye struggles to have stars. You know,
Yes, that is true.
that's their
We gotta
whole
get
thing.
Amisore back.
I agree. I'm the person that's come on here and not enjoyed Amisore, but I actually want her back. You
Wow.
know, I hope she comes back and she thrives because she's been gone for so long.
Yeah, it's been like 6 months now or so.
She did tear her ACL or something. So
Yes, yeah, 2 of them.
But
But yeah.
hold on, both?
No, like an ACL and the MCL in the one
Oh,
knee,
I
so
was
both
like,
the
if she
ligaments.
tore both
No, no.
ACLs, she's
Yeah,
gonna
not both
go longer
ACLs,
than
but
that.
both of the main ligaments.
Yeah, that's pretty
But
bad.
yeah, the post-match brawl in this one actually teased us with a lot of stuff. I think Tayo was going at it with Momo, and everybody was just like, "All right, listen, let's just get out of retirement. Let's make it happen. You know, let's do Momo Tayo." But yeah, it was really fun. Like even they were
Momo
just
had a week
throwing
of teasing.
haymakers. She did.
That was her
She
week.
did.
She was like, "I'm not gonna
Um,
wrestle this week, but I will tease a bunch of matches."
which is honestly really cool, really valid. I respect that
Not
from the
if they
bottom.
don't happen.
Well, 2 of them are gonna happen. I don't think we're getting
That's
Tayo
true.
out of retirement anytime
That'd be
soon, but
sick though. Imagine if we did.
it would. It would. Yeah, we got Nana Momo and Tayo reunion. Like be fun.
You know how annoying it is that we like, oh, Tayo can't come out of retirement except for the fact that she wrestled in a promotion under a
Yeah,
mask.
yeah. She also does exhibition grappling on like every show, so it's
Also correct. And
yeah.
she usually like does stuff in the high speed matches.
hmm
She should
She's the
just
most
come back.
retired wrestler ever. It's pretty funny.
Yeah. Yeah. Her and Venny,
Um,
imagine for the title.
oof, yeah. That Seed
All
show was
right, I'm
good,
gonna
by the way. If people haven't seen it,
It was
that
a
was
good
a
show.
really, really beast show. Check it all out.
Seedling's
Like
kinda
literally
crushing it.
start to finish, except the high speed match. Those are bad, but
That
everything
doesn't
else on the
exist.
show, very good. Um, in World Women's Pro Wrestling Diana, Syuri and Rani Agami lost the main event of a show on the 16th of February. They were beaten by Nanami and the recently returning Rina Amakura. Rina Amakura, obviously from Colors, she was out for like over a year, I think, with a knee injury, and she just came back. So that was a win for them on Nanami's Produce show. I haven't seen this. Nobody really watches Diana. Maybe it'll go up on Stardom World, but they seem to be very hit or miss on uploading outside stuff lately. So I don't actually know if we will.
It's crazy how much movement Nanami has, by the way. She wins every match all of a sudden. I don't know if you noticed that. She won the New Blood match, obviously. Well, that was to get a title shot. Now she's beating Syuri on paper. On paper, I'm sure she pinned Rana, but still. Did you say Rina Makuro was her partner?
Yep.
Is this her first match back?
No, I think she came back at the Colors show, but this was maybe
Oh,
her
okay.
second or third. Yeah,
Well,
she's
she was
just
really
recently
good
back.
before her injury, so
hmm
hopefully she crushes it. It's nice to see.
Yeah, it's good,
Wow,
especially since
she's
we're
been out
losing.
since 2023.
Yeah, I just noticed that. Yeah.
Oh my
What,
god.
November 2023? Yeah, madness.
Wow. It's
Um,
a long
Then we had Momo Watanabe turned up in Australia, of all places. She was in the crowd for AEW's All In Australia TV special thing.
Grand Slam, not all in.
Grand Slam. And she confronted both Mercedes Moné and Athena. So I don't know if she's gonna do both of those matches or if they just teased both because she
She's
does have
taking it
that
all.
Dynasty Cup. She is. I hope so. Yeah, she's already challenged Monet for one of the belts, so I don't know if they'll redo that. And Athena is a more easy feud considering she beat the shit out of Tekla for like a month straight there. So I would imagine they might tease the Monet match, but they will do Momo versus Athena instead. I don't know where because they haven't announced the Supercard of Honor, but maybe we'll get it in Japan. Who knows?
My pitch here, and hear me out. Hear me out.
Okay.
She beats Athena for the ROH Women's World Title. And yes,
Yes.
I know Ring of Honor fans will be like, but she's built up. You know, she's
All
not
three
built
of them.
up to lose to anyone at this stage, okay? There's
Yeah.
3 people there. She's beat Billy 7 times. No, it's not happening. She beats Momo, and then she faces Mercedes with all the titles on the line, and Mercedes gets another belt.
Yes, yeah, I do think Monet getting the RH belt is gonna happen.
And also, like, to me, this feels like a way to get Mercedes on Queendom.
That's true, because the IWGP is like up in the air between Mayu, Syuri, and Sari, and I don't think either of them would lose to Monet. Especially not if it was like V1 for Sari or Syuri.
Right.
And obviously, Mercedes is going to win. So
Yeah.
yeah,
I think that would be good. Little Mayu, not Mayu could be defending against Sari or Shuri on that show. But you had that, you had Mercedes versus Momo, and then probably Tam and Kamatani again. I mean, that's a big 3 right there.
Yeah, and that's not even getting into what Micah does, which we honestly don't know, but
Kid.
it could be the Hashimoto match.
Yeah. Well, Hashimoto might be champion by then, which is
Oh, that's true.
not might be, will be. So that makes that match really difficult.
That it does. I think
Unless they
Micah
want
could
Micah
just lose
losing.
again. Yeah, I don't think they mind, to be honest.
Yeah. That would be a big 4, and then whatever they decide with Cinderella can be kids match.
Yeah, Jesus Christ, that show could end up being loaded.
They
But
have to load.
we're
They
probably
want
running away with ourselves.
10,000 people.
That's true. Yeah, that's a very ambitious goal. Can't lie. That is all for Stardom Masters outside of Stardom, I think. I don't know if they got up to anything else. There's usually something that I've missed because they're in every promotion under the sun. But I'm pretty sure we got everything. But with that, it is time to get on to the review section. On February 15th, we had Stardom in Takasaki 2025, as in the Messe Gunma Exhibition Hall C, specifically Hall C. And they had 400 here. And Akira and go in Akira in just with the Blockster. And this it's frozen. Okay, I'm here. Yeah, this is
There you
probably
go.
the best performance from Akira so far. Unsurprisingly, it came against Mayu and Hanan, but I thought she got to do a lot more than usual in this one, and I thought she looked very good going up against the two of them.
I liked her with Suzu. They felt like a
Yes.
fitting pair. I think that helped as well. Yeah, I mean, when you're in there with Mayu and Hanan, you're usually gonna benefit from that. I think that's
Yeah.
something that watching these rookies, whether it be Hamabe or Akira or Yuria, I think like it just comes down to who they're facing and when they get to do a little bit more. So I would definitely agree this was probably Akira's best showing to date. Not that again, she's wrestled for like 3 weeks, but
Yeah.
it's the little things. It's the little things that you notice with these young wrestlers. So good step in the right direction.
Alrighty. We then had Fukigen Death beating Yuria Hime and Aya Sakura. Fukigen rolled up Hime in 5.5 minutes with her usual O'Connor roll thingy. So I never watched the second from the bottom three-way match. It is just always skippable. It's always fine, but like skippable, you know?
Yeah, I'm not gonna sit here and lie. I did not watch it.
That is
I did.
totally fair.
I do the same exact thing unless it's like May Sarah because maybe she'll make it fun.
Yeah.
But usually it's a rookie, a vet, and then someone else. So it's like,
Yes, yeah, it's very
how much
formulaic,
can you
but
take from 5 minutes in that match?
yeah.
This roster's just too big.
Yeah, I mean, Dylan and I kind of discussed it last week of like leaving people off, and I think even if they did, they would still have a big roster. So
Yeah,
it's
yeah. They
an
left a lot of people
interesting
off from this
situation.
show.
They did, yeah. There was no Momo, no Tekla, no Syuri, no Rana. Oh wait, Rana was on
Ooh,
this. Syuri was also on this. I don't know who I'm
nice.
talking about then.
Waka wasn't on
Just
this?
went like 0
Question
for
mark?
0 for 2 there. Yeah, no Waka. She's kind of disappeared for a little bit, but like they did have a good few people off,
That's
and it
not a
was still a big card.
bad thing, by the way.
No,
I'm not upset with
no.
that.
We then had Tomoki Inaba and Rani Agami beating Natsupoi and Yuna Mizumori in 10 minutes when somebody reversed Yunamon's roll up attempt into a win. Natsupoi is doing this shtick now where she grabs people by the hair a lot, and that's her whole thing. which is a very interesting use of one of your most talented wrestlers. But yeah, Tomoka and Rana, let's get that New Blood tag challenge in. They look good together.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's very funny Yuna went from winning to now she can't win.
Yes.
It's a
Yeah, I said this to
fascinating
Dylan
story we're
last week.
talking.
I was like, she just won 3 in a row, and then that was it. Like, this just cause.
Yeah, it feels like they were like, you know what, we're gonna save her title win for Queendom or another
Possibly.
show. You know, 'cause I think she's beating Mai Sakurai, so
There's
because I don't
nobody
think
else
there's
to
anyone
beat Mai Sakurai. No.
exactly. It's not like it's a clear, obvious thing, but like the whole story was building to that match. Then Fuki can beat her and was like, oh, okay, never mind.
Yeah.
So it's like I don't know. Yuna just kind of losing again is weird, but Tomoka and Rana are good. So yeah, give them honestly just give them the New Blood belts. Like I'm not just the title match, give them belts.
Yeah, I'm down. Tomoka Inaba, champion season again. Let's get it. We then had the Stars team of Hazuki Koguma and Momo Kogo beating Maika, Hanako, and Rian. Momo Kogo actually got the win for her team over Rian with the Nectar Peach. It's another person who's randomly picking up wins. Whether that gets her the next high speed title match, I don't know. Or maybe she's just going to lose in 2 weeks. You know? It's
Yeah.
who's to say?
There's a match this upcoming weekend that I looked at. I'm like, oh, Momo Kogo is getting pinned. I don't remember what
Maybe
it
not.
was, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe we're
Yeah.
heating her up again. The story between her and Yuna was heat up, not type thing. So
Yeah.
I guess we'll see. It's very confusing.
Sometimes.
How we're building towards the high speed title, but it's something. So I'll give them that.
Yeah, it's something. Speaking of something, Hina and Lady C beat Azumi and Miyu Amasaki. Hina got the win over Miyu in 10 minutes with a Gedo clutch because we are 50-50ing every title match ever. So, fun times.
I was gonna be positive about this. I thought this was pretty good. I thought Amasaki and Hina were good
I mean,
together,
this is
and
4 of their best, hoopers. So, yeah.
for house shows, absolutely. You can count on all 4 to perform
Mhm.
consistently. As I was saying to you before the show, like when they have a week that has like 5 shows in 8 days or whatever, a lot of people rightfully take the night off because, protect the bodies and whatnot. But uh Miyu Amasaki doesn't know what night off means, and I thought her and Hina looked good. And Lady C and Azumi, they're building to their artist match. So yeah,
Oh, yeah, this was
it
a
was a
double
fun match.
preview, yeah. Lady C and Azumi work really well because they just go, "Hey, we were in QQ, let's fuck each other up," and it's really cool.
All of them were in QQ, to be fair.
Oh my god, that's right. I forgot about that. Oh my god,
Yeah, this was a Queen's Quest reunion match, actually.
that's crazy. I bet you nobody brought it up either, which is a shame.
I
Um,
did in my head because I remembered halfway through the match. I was like, "All right, they were all in the same group." It was
yeah.
weird, but no one
Um,
cares.
After this match, Lady C confirmed that she will be challenging for the Artists of Stardom titles at the Korakuen Hall show on March 3rd. So it'll be Azumi, Kid, and Kevin taking on Lady C and 2 others from God's Eye.
They announced it.
Yeah, they did, and I forgot.
Tomoka and Rana,
Rana?
the 2 people
Yes.
we were hoping to have a title match.
Incredible. Fantastic
So,
stuff.
and they're wrestling good people. Like
Yeah.
they're wrestling
Honestly, that could be
Bob
another
and
great match. 4.5
Yes,
from Dave. Let's go. Let's get it. We're launching Starlight Kid,
Cosme's
or
in it,
not
so
Starlight Kid.
get
We are
locked in.
launching Lady C to the stars. That is
I
my
don't want her
goal.
in stars. Thank you.
um, our next match was a Starlight Kid and Mai Sakurai going to a 20-minute time limit draw with Azusa Inaba
15.
and Rina.
It's
No, it
not
was 20.
20. No, it wasn't.
Oh, it says 20 on the website.
Well, it says 15 on whatever. It was
Okay.
15.
They did 20 the next day, I think, so maybe I got confused. But the website definitely says 20 minutes. But either way, yeah,
I
50
just watched it.
TLD.
That's why.
Okay, TLD. The stuff with Kid and Rina was pretty good. I don't think they're the most natural pairing ever, but they kind of just do enough of the white belt stuff to work. Like the white belt stuff is very simple. You just forearm the shit out of each other, and you like work with intensity, and it kind of works for everybody. So I thought once they did a lot of that stuff, it was good. And yeah, the rest of the match around it was fine.
This isn't like a hot take, I guess, because there wasn't like a lot of matches from the weekend because the Sunday show never got up. But this is probably my favorite match from the weekend. I liked what they brought
Yeah.
to the table. I always like Devil X Princess. I just think they're a fun team. Devil and Princess, whatever you want to call them. Azusa Naba and Mai Sakurai are really good together. Azusa Naba is just really good. And I liked what Rina and Kid were doing. I think the interest level in their title match is what can Rina bring to the table that is different from a normal challenge for the Wonder, because she's obviously a heel and we don't get a lot of heel matches beyond like the Tekla one last year, which was bad. So I'm hoping that Rina can rise to the occasion. I'm pretty confident she can. Obviously, we're going to preview it in a few minutes. But I'm looking forward to it. It's an exciting main event because it's new. It's very new. And I think that's kind of part of the selling point right now with Stardom is a lot of things feel new and exciting. And I mean, that match for me is right there. And it's just funny that Rina got a Wonder Stardom title match before Azumi. So
I'm always amazed that this new regime came in and said, okay, we're building around Maika, building around Starlight Kid, we're building around Saya Kamatani, Tam Nakano, Hanan, and Rina.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah. And the Hana
no,
one was like a little flippy flop last year. Like she kind of
yeah,
just disappeared until they're like, oh, let's get her the tag belt.
yeah.
Um,
Rina
but
has just
Rina's the most
dominated.
pushed out of them all.
Literally. It's so absurd. And I mean, I get it. She's a very talented wrestler. She's clearly a charismatic wrestler. But it is just insane that they went, okay, we have this entire roster. Let's push this teenager to as far as we can. And we're gonna see the culmination of it here in her hometown against Starlight Kid. So let's see how that one goes. The main event then of this show was a babyface army. Tam Nakano, Sakurai, Syuri, and Kyoka Kutatsu beat Saya Kamatani, Natsuko Tora, Konami, and Ruaka. Tam pinned Saya in 15 minutes with the Andromeda because, again, we are 50-50ing everything. And yeah, I thought it was a good match. I like Hate. Hate is great. Saya and Tam did their stuff. Konami got out of the way, thankfully, because she is quite boring at the moment with Syuri. And yeah, it was good. Good main event.
She did that on the Osaka show too. She literally like barely tagged in. It was very funny.
I
Like that
totally
is
respect
Konami's
her
role.
just wanting the bag, but also please do it away from Syuri, you know?
Yeah, it's been the longest story of all time. It's been going since summer of last year. Obviously, the injury changed things. I'm sure. I'm sure the payoffs will be at the end of last year, but I would like it to end. I would like them to just make the singles match and do it and get it out of the
Yeah,
way. I don't know what we're
they
waiting
won't.
for.
We're waiting for April.
As you pointed out to me last week when Konami came back, while Sari trains to fight Syuri, Syuri is getting choked out in the middle of the ring by not non-trying Konami. So awesome.
Yeah. It's crazy. But yeah, that was that show. Good show from Stardom.
Yeah, you sound so pumped about it.
I'm just thrown off. I'm so used to Dylan every week that I'm like, what is happening?
You
On
expect
this,
negativity? Is that it? I don't have any
well,
negativity for
yeah,
you.
he just kind of like sometimes talks for 5 minutes, and I get to like breathe
Oh
and
yeah,
get
yeah,
my cardio in. But
yeah.
I'm
Sorry, I don't have that
having
many
to do
things to
the
say.
like
We're talking house shows,
that is
Alex.
valid.
This is a house shows in
Yeah,
Takasaki and Fuji.
yeah. All of them did not go up. So on February 16th, we had Stardom and Fuji 2025. This is in the Messe Large Exhibition Hall in front of 507 fans. I did check earlier today because I thought this might go up because it has been 2 days and they're usually fairly good at that stuff, but it wasn't up last I checked and it wasn't up last you checked. So unless we're missing it, which is possible, it isn't up anywhere. So this show opened with Mai Iwatani, Hazuki, and Koguma beating Natsupoi, Unimizumori, and Yuria when Hazuki pinned Unimon because why pin the rookie? with a Le Magistral in 9.5 minutes. They presented Mayu, it looks like, with a birthday cake afterwards. So very cute, very lovely, very nice. Was that after? Yes, they did. Yeah, Momo Kogo gave it to her. That's lovely. We then had Fukigen Death beating Akira and Rian in the standard second from the bottom three-way match. She won with the O'Connor roll again on a rookie. We then
That match
had
sounds
Maika.
vile.
It does. It does.
Oof.
Maika and Hanako beat Tomoka Inaba and Kyoka Kotatsu when Maika got the win in just under 11 minutes with the Enka Atoshi because the world hates us. Yeah.
Tomoka
Cup
Inaba
high
and
meat.
Kyoko Kotatsu sounds like a hell of a tag team in like a year.
It does.
If
It does.
Kotatsu develops like we think she can, I like that. They lost, but you
yes.
know,
Okay.
whoever beats Mike and Hanako, not even Team 200 kilograms could beat them.
That is true. Who did beat them? Our tag champs.
Wing
Yes.
Glory. Yeah.
Our beautiful tag champs. Our next match was Miyu Amasaki and Mei Seira beating Hina and Lady C and the team of Hanan and Momo Kogo. Miyu got the win over Hina with the Amano Hashidate in just under 13 minutes because
50-50 booking. I got you.
hell yeah. We then had oh god, that's long. 20-minute time limit draw. Starlight Kid, Azumi, and Suzu Suzuki wrestled to a draw with Konami, Rina, and Ruaka
They
to
couldn't
further
pin
preview
Ruaka?
Rina and Kid. No, you
Why
can't pin
couldn't they
Ruaka. Of
pin
course not.
Why not?
She's a beast.
Yeah, but like in all seriousness, like we take that out of here. Why couldn't they just pin Ruaka?
That is true. They did seem to have a very specific idea with Rina and Kid to not have either of them get an advantage in the preview tags. So I don't know if it's purposeful. But yeah, it
Still
is
50-50
interesting.
though.
It is actually. Can't get away from it. Our next match is Tam Nakano, Syuri Ano, and Sayaka Kurara beating Saya Kamatani, Natsuko Tora, and Azusa Inaba. Syuri got the win over Azusa in 16 minutes with the Tom's Tundra, and I would assume that was our main event. Yes. They did say a lot of stuff. I'll do my best because they announced. Oh yeah, they're doing a Natsupoi and Syuri Ano produce show in May.
Their anniversary show, yeah.
May 31st, and it is an Ota Ward, which is incredible. Very ambitious, as I said on Twitter. Very ambitious venue for those two, unless they have outside help, because I think just a Stardom light show in that venue probably won't do as well.
They definitely have outside help.
Yes, yeah, they'll probably have T-Hearts, but I don't know how much
I'm
that
guessing
moves.
T-Hearts, Syuri.
Oh yeah, sorry, I keep forgetting her and Natsupoi are like best friends.
Very much so. Very much so.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm guessing the main event will be some sort of tag, but
yeah,
I don't know.
probably.
If you're filling Ota Ward, you got to have something massive on there.
Yeah, I don't know though. Like unless they have Aja and stuff, like I don't know.
They still need a lot though. Like
that's true.
It's Ota Ward for an anniversary show. You can't do the usual anniversary show. Is my point. You know, you have to have some
See,
sort
unless
of
they had somebody from
major
TJPW, but I don't know how they'd swing that. Like that's maybe the only
that
way.
would definitely be it. I guess that'll be the fun of it. Maybe Himeka will referee again.
Maybe. We're on to the fun part now. We have 2 shows to preview. Well, almost the fun part anyway. The first show is on the 22nd. It is in Sendai, of course. Is it in the pit or is it in the?
I don't think it's
the
in
other
the pit.
place. It is in the Yume Messe Miyagi. I don't know if that's the museum looking place or a different one. But
if it's not the pit, I don't want it.
That is fair. Our opener for that show is Momo Kogo versus Akira. Yeah. Yuna Mizumori takes on Rani Agami, Rian, and Fukigen Death. We've changed it. It is no longer second from the bottom 3-way. It is now second from the bottom 4-way. Incredible change. Fukigen probably wins again, just because. I
don't have anything to say about either of those matches. I'm sorry.
That is fair.
I can't
No,
give
I
you
get
anything.
Mai Utani, Hazuki, and Koguma take on Saki Kashima, Lady C, and Yuria. So
Welcome
that's
back,
nice.
Saki. That's nice to see.
She's
She's
right
been out
against
for a while.
Mayu. She missed the Mayu tag. So
she is someone that like you notice is gone because at least she's entertaining.
yeah,
you
no,
know?
Saki always steals the show. She's
Yeah.
a delight.
Oh, Waka's back.
Incredible. So happy. Maika, Wakasuyama, and Hanako versus Natsupoi, Syuri Ano, and Aya Sakura. What
Which
a mismatch.
reminds me. Oh yeah, it's very one-sided.
Oh, we did forget. I forgot something.
Yeah.
Aya Sakura challenged Chi-Chi to
You're
a
damn right.
trilogy fight at the
You're
Sendai
damn
Girls
right.
show in Yoyogi.
That's a main
You
event
know it.
right there. I
Yes.
am so excited for that match. It's actually sickening. I know this is not a Sendai Girls show, but Chi-Chi had herself a day on Sunday. She got that match. She's challenging for the tag belts. It's a good time to be a Chi-Chi fan. I'm just saying. It's a good time to be a Barbie girl in a Barbie world.
That's incredible. I would imagine the Cosmic Angels team wins the match that has Wakasuyama on the other team.
If they don't, if they pin Aya Sakura,
oh Lord,
I'm gonna have
don't.
a problem.
Yeah, that would be bad. The babyface army is back. Tam, Sayaka Kurara, Syuri, and Kyoka Katatsu take on Saikamsani, Natsuko Tora, Momo Watanabe, and Konami. That will be better than the match from this past weekend just because Momo Watanabe is there, and Momo Watanabe is an elite tier pro wrestler. Now, the main event is weird. Hanan, Saida, Hina, Ruaka, and Rina take on Neo Genesis. What an interesting
Challengers
match.
versus champions. Kind of.
Yeah, that is a fascinating match.
You got champions on each side, plus Ruaka.
Yes.
I'm very okay. This is not my explanation for this match is not working out well because there's champions on both sides. But essentially, it's the challengers facing the champions in a big scramble, and it's a Neo Genesis main event, so you know it's going to be very good.
Oh, for sure.
Like I'm very excited.
I'm just really intrigued by the faction swapping there. Like Stars with Hate and Hina is fascinating.
Awesome.
They've really enjoyed doing that since switching over. I know they did the 3-on-3.
Personally enjoyed it as well, if that matters.
Yeah.
I think it tends to be one of the more interesting bits from matches, and it's always fun when like they don't get along and then they start saving each other, and it's like, oh, see, there's still some love there. What matters is Ida's back, and she has been so missed on all these shows.
Something tells me as well, just as they kind of got momentum.
I know. But I mean, they have a fantastic match on Monday, so we're locked in.
That they do, but yeah, I've anything from that show, I would definitely watch the main event. I mean, that looks like a very fascinating match.
I think the last two are pretty good. Momo's in that match, so like you said, I have more hope for that. Momo and Syuri are gonna kick each other for about a minute.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
You're gonna get on your feet and be like, "This is what it's all about," and then they'll both tag out and not see the match the rest of the time. Happens every time.
That's
awesome.
true. That's true. And then we're gonna get Tamsaya, and all will be well.
And Konami and Kotatsu, you'll be set.
Yes. And then we go on to the big show on Monday, February 24th. We have Stardom Path of Thunder 2025 in the Tochigi Light Cube Utsonomiya. They've had to put extra tickets on sale to this one because Stardom is red hot and cannot keep up with the demand anywhere. We open with Mayu Iwatani versus Yuria Hime. I like just throwing Mayu out there in a singles match to kind of carry the undercard a little bit.
Yeah, Mayu's been so directionless.
Yeah.
It's like I understand like the timing and conversation surrounding it and everyone wants to bring it up. But even if like she is leaving, you would think she'd have a direction considering she holds a championship. I'm just saying, like remember when Stars was breaking up?
Currently doesn't involve her. But yeah,
but like remember when Stars was breaking up?
Civil War. Yeah.
Like what happened?
I don't know.
They just dropped it. And you know it's gonna probably come back. Like
yeah.
A random day. Remember when Hazuki was depressed? Like, do you remember these
Yes.
things?
Oh my god,
I'm
yes.
remembering all these things. All
Yeah.
these things happened, and they were like, "Yeah, never mind."
What a
With this
weird
group,
thing. What a fascinating group of people.
like, Hanan and Hazuki hate each other, except when they
Mhm.
actually tag, they're like, "Oh, we're best friends."
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
just this group where the inconsistencies continue, and it's my favorite group, so it hurts me a little. I'm not gonna lie to you, but I had to bring it up on the Stardom
That's fair.
podcast
No,
because I'll
that's
never
fair.
remember it when I talk about it on my own show because I gotta talk about the other things that happened elsewhere, not just in Stardom. But, like, I'm not alone in noticing this, right? Like, Stars is a mess.
Yeah, it's a very weird group. It has felt like they want to change it up a little bit for a while, but then aren't sure whether to do it or not. So they're kind
Uh-huh.
of just waiting. Um,
Mm.
but you might as well just do it. Make Hanan the leader. You know you want to. Just
I
get it over and
they
done
very
with.
much want to. I also think the funny thing is, like, the Civil War started when they all have belts.
Yes. Yeah.
What's so bad about having belts? They all
Well,
have belts from
they
Mortal
had
Kombat.
belts, but have you considered Hazuki was a little mean? So he
So
sucked actually.
FWC has to be challenging Wingory at
Oh
Queendom
yes. Well,
for
yeah,
this story to make sense, I think.
possibly. But they'd
Because
have to drop the Oz belts
newsflash
by then.
newsflash to everybody, do they? Do they really have to drop the Oz belts?
Probably, maybe.
No one tell Ozaki. Ozaki will be fine. I was thinking about this because, Cinderella's coming up, and I don't get to talk about this on this show past this moment, so I'm gonna talk about it real quick. Hazuki's not winning. I know I don't need to, like, tell people that to, like, be a newsflash, but she's literally booked for a show on the second day in Oz that's 4 hours away
Right.
from the start of the show, so it's not happening. Like, the
Oh,
Cinderella date, the second one, she is booked for Oz.
okay. Her
I
and
just
her
want to
and
break these
Koguma.
charts now,
So no Kuma.
so I'm sad about it,
That is
because
fair.
going into this year, Rina was my pick, and then they just did the title match, so I was like, "Never mind." You would think Hazuki and Starlight Kid makes a lot of sense. Remember that rivalry they had last year where
Yep.
she ripped her
Yep.
mask off? Made a lot of sense for Queendom. Nope. So I'm just confused, and I just wanted to get that off my chest because I just wanna know what's going on.
Well, have you considered that we have no idea how this man views the Cinderella, and for all we know, he's just going to use it for an IWGP title match.
You make a good point,
Yeah.
because as, you guys have said on here, and I've said, it does feel like Hanan was always winning last year no matter what.
Mhm.
Um, so this year will be a fascinating year. Watch him just have, like, Kotatsu win, or, like, Sayaka Karara.
Well, she probably would. Yeah, they do love Sayaka Kurara.
If Karara wins, I know who booked it, and his name is not Taro Okada.
Yeah, that is very fair. Um, anyway,
Let's get to the good
Mayu is
part of
gonna
it.
win. She's gonna beat Yuria.
Oh,
I
is
hope.
she? Imagine if she didn't.
That'd be fascinating. Twitter would just be like, "Oh, she's gone. She's left. She's leaving," which is totally valid, by the way.
They
Uh,
didn't even have Utami lose that bad last year.
literally, yeah. She was just like
She lost to Ida.
chilling. Yeah, but she probably asked to do that. She was like, "Hey,
Oh,
listen,
for sure. For
let
sure.
me lose
Julia
my
lost to
belt."
no one, which is beast.
Yes, Julia. Julia didn't put anyone over in any company. It's
Not a single
what a
soul,
crazy
except for
woman
Victoria Yuzuki, actually, in the
to an
gauntlet.
extent. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, she's the only
Yeah, she got
only one
pinned
that
by
beat her. It's crazy.
clean.
Yeah.
Because not even Sari beat her clean.
Did she not? Oh,
Well, she had her, like, tap out, remember? But, like,
Oh
she
yeah,
just
yeah.
gave up or something, like, she didn't really tap, just
Oh
like,
well.
"Alright."
All right. Yes.
I did my Dylan ramble that you've been looking for.
Okay. Thank you.
Congratulations. Moving on.
We had Zaki Kashima, Lady C, Rana Yagami, and Tomoki Ina of God's Eye take on Natsupoi, Syuri Ano, Unimis Mori, and Aya Sakura of Cosmic Angels. There's another preview for the Artist of Stardom title match. Yeah, somebody's going to pin one of the champions. No, it's not a preview of the Artist of Stardom title match.
It's just a
It is the
match.
former Artist of Stardom champions against the next challengers. So maybe somebody from God's Eye might like pin Unimon or Aya, and continue building them up.
The things to consider here: Aya Sakura and Tomoki Inaba kicking each other. That is all.
Yes.
I have
Oh
nothing
yes.
else. I have
Rana
nothing
too.
else to plug
This
into
is
this.
Rana.
Oh, and Rana. Yeah,
I
this
think
could be
Lady
kick.
C kicking the shit out of Natsupoi could be good. Like that big boot might send Natsupoi to space.
Lady C deciding to just mostly do big boots was a blessing.
Yeah.
Much like it was for Koki and Mare.
Yes.
Just big boot people, and it works.
It's
It's
a
a
very
brilliant idea.
solid tactic.
I watched Lady C for like the first time the other day because she wasn't in like a match with Waka, which is always the matches she's
Yes.
in. She was great. She was great.
No,
She
I've been
kicked
saying it. She's good.
Azumi into next month. I was like,
Yeah.
wow, that's crazy. I have a thing to say about Azumi, which is I'm just so confused in how they view her in this company at this stage.
Right. Yeah, because she's in our next match. She's in the purgatory. It is Azumi, Waka, Akira, and Fukigen in a 4-way. And
that is
full on
that is-
purgatory.
I don't like. Obviously, they view her highly because she
Yeah.
gets the big title matches, and she's a third of the artist champs. But I still feel like they should view her higher. Like she doesn't. The fact that we are on year or whatever of her not having a Wonder or World of Stardom title match is fascinating to me. She's never had one.
Yeah, I've always wondered if they don't think she's capable of like pushing her style to a 16-minute title match.
Which is crazy. They put her in IWGP title matches.
Yeah, but that went 10 minutes.
It's really good. Well, they
It
put her in the
was.
Mercedes one too. And the Strong title
Wasn't
matches.
that in America though? Yeah, I don't think they cared as much.
No. The Mercedes one was on Sakura Genesis.
Oh, the 3-way, yeah, but even that was
Yeah,
like a high-speed sprint kind of thing. I don't know if they
well,
think
we're
she's
in different
capable of a white
Mercedes,
belt.
too. It's crazy to me.
I'm not saying they do. I'm just saying like maybe that's the thought process behind it.
She's currently my pitch to face Starlight Kid at Queendom.
Oh yeah, that would make sense. Yeah, that's one of those like rivalry things for that belt.
Rivalry things. They're in the same faction, but she should win Cinderella. So like that's why I'm bringing it up. She's my pick. Breaking news.
Yeah.
For the 4 people that might care. Just because like no one else makes sense for Cinderella this year.
Well, again, I don't know what they're going to use it for, so I have no clue. Like they might hold on to it.
I'm
They might
assuming
use
they
it straight
keep the
away.
rules from last year is my thing. You know,
Possibly, yeah.
The like non-world champion, wonder champion thing. If we keep that rule, it has to be her.
Yeah, I would say so. But I don't know because they might want to use it for another belt, or they might want to use it for something silly. Because I have pitched them doing it for something silly for a long time. Like, Tam wins and goes, "I want a stipulation match," or Karara wins and goes, "I want Aya Sakura to go home."
I'm just gonna keep believing that they don't do that, just because, like in my mind, and again, this is just me, but I feel like Taro sees what these things have done the past couple of years and just assumes that's the rule and just is going to continue to go with it. We'll see. So. There's no guarantee it happens at Queendom, obviously, because the 5-star match moved up to like random pay-per-view number 7, obviously. Yes. But I'm just kind of treating it that way for now because I don't know how else to treat it. I just want more for Azumi. So
yeah,
I'm filling the Dylan role here today.
Okay, that's good. Our next match is a 3-way trios match. It is Hazuki Koguma and Momo Kogo versus Maika, Hanako, and Rian, and the team of Momo Watanabe, Tekla, and Ruaka.
Okay. It was so nice when she wasn't around.
That is crazy. Oh yeah, Tekla. I didn't even notice.
Yeah, she kind of sneaks in there. I literally wrote this card out, and then I didn't realize until like an hour later that she was on this. And I was like, I don't understand what she's doing. Like she clearly doesn't want to be here.
Yeah. Well, I imagine she just couldn't get signed.
Again? Well, I guess
Probably. I mean,
her
I don't
contract
know.
probably ends at the end of like March, so maybe that's what she's waiting for.
Oh, maybe. Yeah. Because
Just based on
who's
last
to
year.
say? I feel like she's gonna stick around though because of Clark, but I don't know.
Okay. I miss
Yeah.
Xena. Happy birthday, Xena, too. Her birthday was
Oh
on
yeah.
Tuesday.
Shouts out Xena. Get back soon, Queen. Yeah. I don't know who's gonna win that one. Probably Micah and Hanako because it's Micah and Hanako. So. Oh yeah. Actually, they're feuding with Tekla, and Tekla pinned Micah last time. So yeah, Micah probably gets her win back.
God. Oh, God. I
Our
forgot
next
what's
match,
happening.
just ignore it. Syuri and Kyoka Kotatsu versus Konami and Azusa Inaba. That's kind of the two main Konami feuds being brought together. Kyoka kind of inserted herself into the Syuri Konami thing by just being like, "You are doing things the wrong way. I will defeat you." And Konami's just been like, "Who the fuck are you?" So yeah,
They
that's
did fight at the Bloodsport show.
oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, Maya Fukuda
Mm,
back then. It's
yeah.
fascinating.
Fun fact. They should just kick each other. That should be
They
this
should.
entire match.
I think it could be. I think Konami will probably turn it on for the bigger shows because she does have that in her arsenal still. So maybe if she
If
just
she
lets
doesn't,
Azusa do the most.
we're in trouble.
Yeah,
Like,
very
this is
true.
the time, you know?
Yeah. Like,
I
get the
like
bag,
how
but even Nagisa Nozaki turns it on for the bigger shows. Like you cannot be more lazy than Nozaki. It's just not ideal.
true. It's true.
Yeah. Yeah.
Though when Mizaki turns on, it's very like,
Oh yeah, I mean
it's high
she's a
level,
beast.
to be fair.
We get into the business end of the card. Then after that, we have a special tag match. It is Tam and Sayaka Kurara versus Sayaka Mitani and Natsuko Tora. So Tora ended up being the secret partner for some
Hilarious
reason.
bit.
Very.
Hilarious bit. They're like,
Um.
we're gonna do X for an
Yeah.
entire month, and then we're just gonna reveal the card. It's Tora, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Fantastic.
I don't mind it being Tora because that
No,
means
no,
it's
it's
not
just
Aya
funny.
Sakura, which was
Yeah.
my biggest fear. The way they were telling the story between her and
Mhm.
Sayaka Kurara.
Mhm.
They kept kind of teasing it, and I was like, please don't do this to me. Aya Sakura is on such a good trend right now. And I don't even dislike hate like that anymore. I actually enjoy them. But she's just fitting into what she's doing. Let's not
Yeah.
ruin that right now. With this match, it's interesting because it makes you think that, the heels are winning.
Yeah. So they haven't wrote the stipulation on it, but I'm pretty sure, isn't it? If Saya wins, Kurara joins Hate. But if Tam
Yeah.
wins, she gets a title match, or she gets a
Yeah.
wish, basically.
Yeah, it's Tam. The exact phrasing is like Saya will listen to whatever Tam wants, and it's like, why couldn't you just say she gets a title
Yeah.
match?
So
uh,
I'm assuming Tam wins and challenges for April. That was where I've been
you would think
since
so.
they announced the match.
Yeah.
Now I
Have
don't
you
know
and
how.
Dylan talked about the fact that that show is right after the American shows?
No, I have no
Because
concept of when WrestleMania is.
so WrestleMania is Easter weekend,
Okay.
which not doesn't matter for everyone, but that is the 19th and 20th. This show
Oh
is a week
shit.
after that. So, like,
Okay.
they're not gonna have any preview tags besides the Stardom American shows, I'm pretty sure. So,
And that's kind of the big thing of do they keep so if Tam challenges Saya, you can't run a
mhm,
red belt match at the Cinderella finals. You can't run one in Vegas, where you'd imagine they might do Mina, which a very easy Mina
unless
challenge.
they're doing it at the Cinderella final, but I don't think they are.
Mm,
What
and who
what
challenges
where is the
Saya?
Cinderella final?
Oh, I don't know. I never actually looked.
It is at Oda Ward, so they might.
It could, but then what do they do for April? Unless they rush Micah into the
Yeah.
spot.
Yeah, see, this is why I kinda wanted to bring it up. It's a good talking point because 'cause I'm kinda confused. With the American shows, you'd feel like they'd wanna do a title match there, but
Yeah.
Queendom's the week after, and that matters way more than the American shows. No offense to the many fans that may be going. But there's 2 of them too, so it's like, how are you differentiating those, and then how are you building to the biggest show of your entire calendar year?
Mm. Maybe Tam asks for a stipulation and not a title match, and then if Saya is still champion, then it becomes a title match.
Maybe. Because I don't think they would do Saya and Tam in America, obviously.
No.
Like, that would be a waste. Again, no offense to the American fans, but it's WrestleMania week. Like, honestly, they can put
They're
on
gonna draw regardless, yeah, but
the
they'll
simplest
probably do
cards.
something. Yeah.
Yeah, but they're gonna want to give people something.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking artist match there is probably the best bet.
Maybe.
Assuming all of them are going. But again, that's the other part. We don't know who's going.
That's true,
You know?
yeah. That was early March last time, so
Right. So yeah, that's kind of my difficulty here. Because if you remember last year, they had to put off Momo and Micah until that show was over.
yes. Yeah.
And that was a problem.
It became very abrupt.
They can't put off anything this time because
Mm.
Queendom is literally the week they get back.
This reminds me of last time they ran Yokohama Arena where they like overplayed their hand and they did the Triangle Derby, the Cinderella, and that all
Mhm.
one after the other, and it just messed with the flow entirely.
Mhm.
Because I'm
Mhm.
also now just like, how do you do anything here without Saya winning? Like Saya winning just becomes a lot more possible because then maybe Tam wins Cinderella and wishes
Yeah.
to get Carrara back or something. Like
Yeah, which that's absurd.
because Tam winning now, like Tam winning on this show and not getting a title match out of it doesn't make sense. But you
No.
cannot wait 2 months to do the title match. So
Yeah,
how
it's
and where
almost
do you do it?
it's very difficult. It's very
Yeah.
difficult to how we get there. Ultimately, where I'm at in all of this is no matter what, no matter where we are at the end of Queendom, Saya Kamatani should still be champion
Yes.
because there's no reason to take it off the most popular Joshi wrestler right now, I think.
Yeah.
Not named like it's her and Syuri that are just and Unagi
Yes.
again.
Unagi somehow again.
Shout out to Unagi for the sellout one match show. That's awesome. But those are like the big three right now in terms of like popularity and ticket
Mm.
sales and whatever people care about in that sense. But I just wanted to bring that up again because I've been trying to figure out where does this match go to if we're just assuming Tam wins. But I think you're right. It almost needs Saya to win to continue this.
Yeah.
Which it didn't feel like at the start. Felt like
Yeah.
obviously Tam wins, we move on. Now it's Carrara switching over and maybe Tam fighting to get her back, getting her back, and then getting a title match.
Yes, maybe.
Worst case scenario is the world title match is also for Sayaka Carrara. Because then my heart has fear that we're getting another Tam reign, and that is not the direction.
I would like Carrara and Kasaya.
I
Maybe
would
at like
too.
Cinderella, but yeah, I'm not sure I would like the end result there.
I do think they need a rookie.
Who
Hate.
hate?
I know hate's huge. I understand that. But like even Azusa and Rina and Ruaka aren't treated as rookies
But I
anymore. I
feel
mean, we
like
just went over
Akira is very them coded though. So they'll probably
yeah,
do
I
Akira.
agree there too. I mean, I fear they
Um,
just put her in God's eye because
maybe. But they would push Carrara. She wouldn't be a rookie either. Like they would push her and hate.
yeah,
So
that's true.
she wouldn't
I
just
don't
be
know.
the rookie. So
Imagine if they
I'm very
added
up in the air on
Rara
this.
and Akira. That'd be crazy.
Ooh,
That'd be the
yeah, that'd
biggest
be fun.
faction of all time.
They might though. I mean, Bullet Club ended up blowing up because they want people feuding with literally everybody.
Mm,
I feel like I
that's true.
said this months ago that Tara
Yeah,
wants this as his Bullet Club to be the antagonists to anybody they need.
yeah,
And to do that, you do need a lot of members. But I don't know. I'm very
yeah.
unsure of how this goes. But I do think they're going to go down some really weird paths where Tam might win the
I,
Cinderella and wish to get
mm,
Carrara back or something. So
I
we shall see.
I am looking forward to this match, though. I will say that.
Oh
I'm
yeah,
very
no,
looking forward to
Saya and
this.
Tora is such a great pairing.
Yeah, Tora's just a really good tag wrestler.
Yeah, she's when her knees are not like in pain, she's pretty great.
That's her like golden spot now. I think is like
Yeah.
big tag matches because she doesn't have to do all the heavy lifting, but she can kind of do her big spots. So
Yes.
that should be good, and it should have a lot of care to it because obviously Karara is beloved by fans. So I'm excited for it.
All right. We then have the Future of Stardom Championship match. Miyu Amasaki defends against Hina. I do think Hina wins here. Rina's definitely not winning the belt, so I think Hina gets the big upset win. Especially because Miyu Amasaki is about a month away from expiring as eligible for this belt. So I think this is the time.
So devil's advocate here. What are the chances that the current Stardom regime looks at the expiration date as you can't challenge past then? That you can hold the belt.
I think very little. I think they put
Have
one of
they said
those
anything
similar
about it?
rules in place for the tags, so I think they would keep it here.
Okay. Well, I was just wondering because, well, they put them in place to challenge, right? You have to have one rookie.
Yeah, but that would
And then
also, I imagine,
anyone.
be holding it.
All right. Well, Hina should win either way. I just wanted
Yes,
to,
yeah.
bring up the possibility of if Amasaki were to win, is it because maybe they're loose with the rule in terms of
They
her
could.
being
I mean, I remember Saito won it and was like, "Hey, why don't we just change the rules?" And Rossi went, "Yeah, sure, whatever." So maybe
Yeah.
I
I
don't
mean, the
know.
2-year rule was tough, so the 3-year
Yes,
was a
yeah,
good move. I hope Hina wins. I think Hina's really good.
yeah. It's coming
She's
on a
just
lot.
not Hanan Arena.
Yes,
That's
yeah. Her big issue
always
is
the
competition.
bad thing for her. It's like she's not her sisters, but she's a very good wrestler. And it'd be good to see her get the belt. I don't think she needs to have a long reign. I just think her beating
Yeah, she's
Miyazaki is
probably like the short term to Karara and Aya finally getting involved in that. But
yeah,
I think she
we've
could
been
have some
waiting.
solid defenses. We have,
We
yeah. I mean,
Aya Sakura is waiting for this belt.
yes,
Just
yeah.
saying. She's waiting. I'm waiting. I fear that
Rana
Sayaka
as well.
Kurao is going to be the one that gets it, actually.
Oh, probably, yeah.
But Aya, I think Sayaka to Rana to Aya is not a bad pipeline because
Ooh,
Aya's
yeah.
doing all the outside stuff.
Yeah.
But maybe she just beats Chi-Chi.
I feel like you have to because Chi-Chi
Yeah.
beat her on her home turf last time, so I feel like you have to do that. But then who does she drop to in Sendai? That's the big issue. Because Yuna is
Yuna.
not coming along.
No,
She is
she's
not
not.
it.
But Aya Sakura with the belts, what's up?
Yeah,
So,
that's
I mean,
good.
they could
That's
just
good.
have her and Chi-Chi continuously face off. No one would say no.
That's true, but I think Pro Wrestling Evolution is eventually going to introduce the belt they announced like 3 months ago. So they
Oh,
probably
yeah, that's
have
true.
that on
And she
Chi-Chi.
has to win that, too.
Yes, yeah, you're not going to
Give
put it on
Chi-Chi all the
zones.
belts, give Aya Sakura all the belts. But yeah, Hina should win. I'm looking forward to this. I think Amasaki's a great future
Yeah, we love
Stardom
Kevin.
title wrestler.
5-star match haver, Kevin.
Yeah,
Good
that
stuff.
she's the reason they got the 5 stars. So
I agree. Yeah, I agree.
she,
Our
as you
next,
said, she actually has 2.
yeah, technically she does have 2. Dave did admit that it was 5 stars, which very interesting.
Dave does.
Dave does what Dave does. But anyway, our next match is for the Goddess of Stardom Championship. Is Hanan and Saida defending against Mai, Sarah, and Suzu Suzuki. That is a guaranteed heater. But Wingori are going to retain.
This is what it's all about.
Yes.
This is why we watch. I've missed Crazy Star. It's been a
Yeah,
long
yeah.
time.
It's been about a year since they really teamed.
And also, something that sorry, I'm typing. The one thing that I think people kind of overlook when it comes to this match is the wonderful rivalry that Hanan and Mai Sarah have
Yep.
that we haven't embraced. That's been my biggest problem with this rivalry is we had the one match in 2023. We've told the story every time they've been in the ring, but we've never actually gone back to it. So I'm very excited at the idea of this. This is the second time I think they're facing off as teams. They faced off in a random tag last year,
Oh,
which was
yes.
11 minutes and 40 seconds. I think this will be a bit longer, but Suzu's back on her bullshit. Mai Sarah's always on her bullshit. Saeed is back. Hanan's Hanan. I mean, this is my favorite for match of the night. I think it'll be tough to beat, but if Rina has you know, the career performance that they're hoping for, then maybe that beats that, but it's hard to top wing Gory at this stage.
Yeah, I think Saya getting time off will probably make her like extra motivated.
Mm,
She's used to being a bit torn up and worn out. But I think she'll be fresh coming into this, so that might be better. Um, I do wonder if this will be part of the Suzu implosion. With Suzu kind of
mm,
not having a belt and the rest of the Neo Genesis does. I wonder if this is what pushes her to make a move, or if that's just something that doesn't come to fruition. Um, yeah, I think it'll be interesting to see what happens after this match, to say the least. Um, but our main event then is for the Wonder of Stardom Championship. Starlight Kid makes her first defense of the championship against Rina. Um, I mean, Kid is going to retain. I don't think she loses on V0, especially not to
that'd be
Rina.
hilarious.
It would be something. The long-awaited Kid white belt run just kind of ending with a no defenses. But yeah, I mean the obviously what people are looking for here is the performance. Whether Rina has new gear, she steps up to the white belt kind of structure and timing and pacing and all that sort of stuff. So I think this is one where everybody knows the result, but the fascination
Mm,
is in how does Rina, adapt
yeah.
to the spotlight being on.
Yeah, Rita's already added a lot to this match by bringing up Hana Kimura, so
Hmm.
I'm already gonna be emotionally drained watching it.
Yeah.
Um, and I think she's gonna do a great job. I mean, when you watch Rina, you see obviously a lot of Hana in her,
Yeah.
not so surprisingly, and, I think her versus Kid is almost an ideal heel versus babyface match for current Stardom because, like,
Hmm.
the simplicity of heel stuff is gonna be a little bit of involvement on the outside, but not too much, and ultimately, it's just gonna come down to the match. What they've teased is Starlight Kid, of course, working the leg, and for Rina, it's just, figuring out what her big title match looks like. We know she can do the future of Stardom title matches. She did a good
Yeah.
job with those, but this is a step up, and it's like, can she reach the level that Hanan's first title challenge was against Sayori last year? Um, I think a hometown crowd will help her a lot too. So I'm kind of excited to see what this match looks like when it's over, to see what Kid does as champion, because that's another big part of this. This is now her first defense. How does she look as champion? I'm under the belief that this is Starlight Kid's year for Stardom. She feels like she can be the MVP for this company. So if she elevates herself, she elevates Rina, and they walk out with having this, great Wonder Stardom title match, then that's really the big win here. Because, like you said, it's predictable. It does, and that's fine. It's a matter of how we walk away from the match and how both of the wrestlers walk away from the match, which I think they'll both walk away looking good. So I'm very much looking forward to this. I'm very much looking to the show. Path of Thunder looks great. I like the name too, like we said earlier. So hopefully, hopefully this is a good night for the sisters overall, just performance wise. I think that's kind of the main part of making this show great is that all three have some career best performances.
Yeah. And I think, two of those are guaranteed. And then Rina is kind of the big question. Um, I have a bold prediction. I think Rina will attempt the Tiger Lily. I don't think she will hit it successfully,
Mm,
but I expect she will attempt it to win the match.
yeah,
She won't
just
hit it
add the
though.
emotions. Cool.
Yeah, because I think she did try the Tiger Lily before in a big match, but she didn't
Yeah,
hit it there. So they're probably going to build to her eventually hitting that and like
yeah.
winning a big title. For people who don't know, if you are newer, the Tiger Lily is a package pile driver into a drop kick, or maybe the other way around. And it
It's
was
the
like the
other way around.
special. Okay, yeah, that makes more sense. And it was the special finisher that Hannah debuted when she won the Grand Prix. So there's a lot of history tied to that move.
Yeah, whenever Rena does hit it, tears will be
Yeah,
possibly shed. Anything Hana connected gets you. So Ooh, yeah,
Especially
she's
Rina.
definitely gonna take
For those of us who
yeah,
were there,
yeah,
and I remember the draft, the infamous draft that we talk about a lot, Dylan and I. Like Rina was like the last pick
yeah.
from Hana, who was like, "Look, you remind me a lot of me. Let's get in here. Stop crying." So she is one of those wrestlers with like a lot of ties, natural ties to Hana.
Yeah.
So yeah, I can.
Just her showing up at the Hana show still
Oh,
is
dude,
like one of those moments I just, you kind of remember from the past couple of years and you won't
yeah,
forget. I just remember last year when she walked in with the belt and that was really cool.
yeah,
Um,
that was brilliant.
there will be a day she walks in with the Wonder. It's gonna be very, very special. But
I
not yet.
agree.
Not
Not
yet.
yet.
Starlight Kids gotta have a strong reign this year. And yeah, I'm looking forward to this, like I said, and hopefully I know they don't do it, but like Starlight Kid getting a title challenger right after this would not hurt me. I'm just
Oh
saying.
yeah, they haven't done that in a while. Yeah, I'd
Yeah.
be into
They
that,
still do
especially if
it.
she
They just
does
don't
the
do it a
cork
lot.
and like on the March cork and maybe she could
Yeah,
defend.
they have March Corkin and the Cinderella final that are gonna need help. So
Yeah,
well, the
maybe I
Corkin
could
might not,
feel that.
but the they need to do one of them. I hope. I understand not having the double title matches unless it's a big show between the World and Wonder.
Mhm.
Um, but I like to have challengers. You know,
Yeah,
Seriano already teased it, obviously, so
and
that could be
Tomoka
a direction,
briefly.
and
So
Tomoka as
let's get
well.
it.
So there's
Let's just
directions to go very
Starlight
easily.
Kid Wrestler of the Year. Let's get it. Let's let her do it.
That's
Just
the
get out of
hope,
her way
right?
and do it. Yeah. But that is that from Stardom, I believe. I don't think they have another show in the coming week. I'll just double check if the schedule ever loads because I'm at the whims of these companies. Yeah, no, there's no shows the next week. So we are good. That is that on Stardom. A very interesting show coming up and a very interesting main event to that event in Sendai. Um, I guess with that, we're on to Marigold, the Golden Fields. So, Marigold wrestles outside of Marigold on the Mayuki 10th anniversary show back then, now, and in the future. Um, we had Dash Chizako, Jaguar Yokota, and Mai Sakurai beating Kakeru, Risusera, and Utami Hayashishita in 13 minutes. I haven't got to see this one yet, but I'd imagine that was a fun time.
Yeah, I look at that match, and I don't want to anger anyone, um, but that match got better when
Oh, yeah.
Dash was added. That's not an Ozaki shot. It's just a I
Yeah,
love
I said
Dash.
this last week. It's like, listen, even if you like Ozaki, Dash is Dash. Leave
Yeah,
Dash to
like
Zako.
that's like the idea of Dash and Utami wrestling even a little
Mhm.
excites. I haven't got to see it yet. Um, but like that's an exciting prospect. Dash being the Ozaki villain has been a fascinating thing on the
Yes.
scene. That has been the direction. Like Maria's filling in for Miyamoto, which makes sense, but Dash filling in for Ozaki in all these different spots is like, oh, all
Cool.
right, cool,
Yeah.
cool, cool, cool. I mean, Dash doesn't go anywhere usually, so
No.
we'll take it. We'll take it. Though, like you said to me, kind of scares you a little that Dash is just
Yes.
randomly
Yeah.
doing all these beats.
Was it
But
20th anniversary next year?
yeah,
Stay working. Keep
yeah,
them working boots on.
yeah, we can't lose
Um,
that. No, no,
no,
no, no.
can't.
Too important.
In the news then, because I don't think Marigold Wrestlers got up to anything else outside the company, Nanae Takahashi announced that she will be holding the Passion Produce on April 14th in Shinjuku Face. First wrestler announced is Momoe Nakanishi, who will be making a one-night return to reform Nana Momo. Nanae has also confirmed that she will have another match on that show. So, very fun part of the Nanae retirement there. Getting to see Momoe again is always a pleasure. Hopefully, we got some of the other AJW icons out of here. I know Nai is very close with Kamiko Makawa. I love Kamiko, so get Big May in there. Big May was a big rival for Momoe as well, so I think Kamiko would be a very natural wrestler to get on there if she wants to. Yeah, we'll have to see who she can pull together from the scene.
Like when Ricky Starks does like the thing to his song with his arms.
Yeah,
He's like, bah, bah. I did that when Nakanishi walked out and I was watching the press conference till like 3 a.m. I was like, this is real. I got another prediction right too for my predictions this year. I'm on fire. That was one of them. That was she'd come back for a match. So I'm very excited for the passion produce, whatever it is. Hopefully she cooks up something good. She's wrestling twice, by the way. Nanae's wrestling twice on that show. So she'll have a singles or something, I'm guessing. So who would you want her to be in a singles match against for her own produce show?
I really think that depends on what she can do as far as like people from the past go. Because obviously there are some legends I'd like to see her against, but if we're talking more modern, maybe a Miko rematch or a last Sari match. I think those would both be cool.
That would be pretty sick.
Yeah. The dream might be Ayako Hamada, but I don't think she's allowed in the country. So, you know, I won't say nothing.
Well, no, she was at the Arceon show, wasn't she?
I think she might be allowed to attend shows, but I don't know if they'd let her wrestle. I think that's a different visa.
Boo.
Yeah.
Anyways.
That is all the news from Marigold that I can remember. So we will get into the review stuff. I somehow forgot to pull up the cards, but you know, I will get there. So Marigold ran twice this past week. On the 14th of February, they were in the Sendai pit. This was in front of 210 fans, which I believe is like pretty even with what they did before. I won't lie to anybody. I looked at this card. Syuri got pulled from it, so we didn't get Syuri versus Ray. And I just thought there's absolutely nothing here that I want to see, because even the stuff I want to see is just a rematch of other stuff. So I skipped this entirely. I apologize in advance, but I just wasn't able to do it.
I watched it. I'm a trooper.
Yeah,
and I watch everything.
Yeah, you got that newsletter now. You know, gotta.
You didn't miss much. Yeah, I made sure I wasn't reviewing this one, even though I watched it. No, I actually reviewed the other one, which was a lot more matches, so that was a choice. But
more fun.
Yeah, you didn't miss much here. It was just a house show. Like this was a house show. Simple put. Like there was no big selling point there. It was fine.
Yeah, I'll just run through the results. Now Ishikawa beat Ryoko Sakamura in just under 7 minutes in a rematch from Shinjuku Face. Rei Seto beat Misa Matsui and Riara in 7 minutes after pinning Riara. Bozilla and Megaton beat Mirai and Natsumi Shizuki, which might be the first time Megaton has won since debuting. Mai Sakurai and Ayono beat Chiaki and Nagisa Nozaki. And then Utami Hayashishita and Victoria Yuzuki beat Chika Goto and Yuki Minami in 11 minutes. So that was the show. Then we went on to Marigold New Year's Golden Garden Day 10 in the Hodagoya City Public Hall in front of 225 fans, which is up from last time they ran there. This card also got thrown around because Naho Yamada was pulled about 2 days before, and was somebody else missing, or am I just going crazy?
I
think there was a 3-on-3 at one point, but then they changed it.
Yeah. So the 3-on-3 was originally Yuzuki, Yamaoka, Miku Aono, Mirai, and Go Chika. Yeah, like there was a lot that was messed up. So they actually just added another challenge match or two.
Right,
there was
yeah.
a lot.
Because I know Naho got pulled like pretty late in the day, and then Seri was back, so they put her back in. All right. So we had a couple of challenge matches to open the show. We started with Natsumi Shizuki beating Riara in 6 minutes. I thought this was okay. I thought the crowd was really cold until Nanae woke them up. So I think some of these matches really suffered from the crowd not getting in behind the babyface nearly enough.
I thought this was the weakest match on the show.
Yeah.
I think Riara is still trying to figure out her place in this promotion. So that's part of it too. You know, because this is a pretty close knit group, it feels like. So, you know, you can always kind of feel the outsider when they're figuring things out. But I don't have, it was the first match on the show. There's not too much to really stress there, I think.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Miku Aono beat Yuki Minami in 9 minutes. What an ungodly time.
Yeah, the thing about Yuki Minami, which I've decided, is she's not like deplorable or anything. She's just like her fundamentals are better now.
Mm-hmm.
She just doesn't have a lot going for her in terms of excitement.
Yeah.
That being said, I thought this was one of, if not her best singles match to date. Not that there's a long list of singles matches for her
Yeah.
or anything. So that's I have Miku Ano and Mirai in this like different world each show. Like they're just the ones you count on to perform. So even against like one of the bottom tier wrestlers, I thought Miku Ano got the most she could out of her. She kicked her as hard as she possibly could twice. I mean,
That
that's
was
what it's all
beast.
about.
Uh,
Yeah, for me, it was the first 3 matches that kinda were like the
yeah.
undercard, and then the fans started to wake up with Now, and then, it really picked up from there.
All right. We then had Mai Sakurai beating Ryoko Sakamura in 8 minutes. And yeah, I didn't like this one at all. I thought Mai struggled to work down to Ryoko. I thought Ryoko had a pretty poor performance on her end. Two wrestlers that I thought would work well, but just did not at all. And again, the crowd was pretty cold and just didn't really get into the Ryoko comeback at all.
Mm. Yeah, I'm still I'm pretty high on Mai for the most part in her performances, but I think this is kind of the part of her game that she's not there on,
Yeah.
is the and, Utami used to have this problem, so it's not like it's a
Yeah, there's somebody
unique
in
thing.
Stardom that has it as well. I can't remember. They don't do singles matches as much.
Micah,
Micah, yeah, I think last time she tried to work down, it wasn't very
Yuri
fun either.
Hina. It was the
Yes,
Yuri
yeah,
Hime match.
that's the
That
one.
was not fun. Yeah, it happens. It's fine. It's not like it's a
Mhm.
big thing. So I don't think Sakamura looked great, like you said either. So it's not like it was just Sakurai struggling or anything. It is what it is.
All right. We then had Utami Hayashishita beating Nao Ishikawa in 7.5 minutes. And as you said, this is where we really sparked back into life.
They they being the people love Nao Ishikawa. This
Good.
woman is so over, and I have decided after this match that I think Marigold needs to take a shot. And when I say they need to take a shot, I mean they need to have Nao Ishikawa pin Mai Sakurai or Utami on a house show to
Mhm.
get a title match. I don't
Yeah.
care which one. I really don't. Like, I honestly think her pinning Utami's better because they had a lot of fun chemistry here that I was like, yeah, you can make this work in a Shinjuku face title match. I'm not even kidding. Like, for me, when I watch Marigold, those are the shots I want them to take.
Mhm.
Like, this is a roster that's mostly learning. And then you have the middle ground, which is a Nao Ishikawa, who is super over. Have her win a match like this. It doesn't have to be singles originally. It can be a tag, where she just rolls up with Tommy and everyone's shocked and the big pop. And then it's like, I want a title match. I pinned you. It's that simple.
Yeah.
And that's what I want them to do with Ishikawa because I think she's just so good now in her role and she needs that big moment. The big moment doesn't need to be a big singles win to me. It just needs to be a big pin over someone, like an established wrestler. And if it's a champion, all the better.
Yeah, I mean, I was saying I wanted her to challenge for the Twin Stars, but I think even
That works
that, like
too.
a singles match is even better because I
It is
think with
work.
the Twin Stars she can challenge with two people. I think her and Rhea could just lose a smaller show, and
Yeah,
then her and Yuki
sure,
can challenge at a bigger show. And it's
sure.
like you can just do that. There's nothing stopping you
Yeah,
from just doing that.
yeah.
Um, yeah.
The thing with now is that despite, Yamaoka coming in and taking her spot, she still stands out. And I think that's
Hmm.
a credit to her. And again, what she's done, there's a lot of people that weren't very high on Nao Ishikawa, yourself included, before Marigold, right? Like
Yeah.
she's someone who's really grown into her role and has a lot of personality, and that that goes a long way in a promotion like this. So I'd love to see Ishikawa get a shot. I think her and Utami have a lot of fun chemistry too. Like this is someone you see Utami's personality come out against.
Hmm.
Um, Utami wanted nothing to do with her at the beginning, and she then disrespected her after the match. And they're teaming this weekend, so that'll be
There's
fascinating
more
to
and more
see.
teases for Utami Cuckoo. I'm just saying. She is
Yeah, I know.
firmly feeling very Queen's Quest coded lately.
Yeah, she is, which is good. I need Utami to have matches and moments like these. So, because we're waiting for Bozilla, obviously, which for that big match, and that'll be a great big match. Don't get me wrong.
Yep.
But I like the teases, and now that we have a faction, which we'll talk about in a second,
Yes.
we're gonna need a faction soon. So, things to think about.
Okay. All right. Nanae Takahashi beat Rei Seto in 12 minutes in our next challenge match. This was like a match of 3 parts. It started well, then it lulled a little bit, and then they started slapping each other. And I thought Rhea towards the end was showing a lot of stuff that I hadn't seen from her before, and the crowd was like really into it and really alive. And so it ended really well, and I was really into what Rhea was doing. But I definitely cannot overlook the middle part, which I thought just lulled a little bit too much.
Yeah. Rhea Seto is a fascinating wrestler to me.
Yes.
Because she's got the basics down. She's had the basics down, dating back to her time with Sendai Girls.
Mm-hmm.
I need to see her now take the next step, right? So many people, attack Marigold because a lot of the rookies do a lot, right? Yuzuki and Yamaoka specifically, which is a good thing, by the way, for anyone that thinks it's not as crazy, that they try different things. But Rhea Seto just does drop kicks and forearms, and that's it.
Yeah.
This match felt like Nanae being like, all right, it's time for you to do more. And that's when the slaps came out. And I think Rhea Seto, she's very quiet and, besides the JoJo stuff she does once in a while, she's very to herself. She doesn't have the popping charisma. But it felt like Nanae was doing everything to take that out of her and add an emotional side to her, which I thought was good. I mean, at times in this match, it felt like Seto was really in pain and getting beat up, but she fought back, and that's really what you want to see in these challenge matches is the wrestlers step up, and I mean, Nanae is the best person to get someone to do that. So I'm hoping for Rhea Seto's future. She builds off of this. Because again, that's what you want these matches for.
Yeah, if she can show more what she did at the end, kind of more consistently, then I think we're good. The next challenge match then was MIRAI beating Chika Goto in just under 11 minutes. I thought this was really good. Again, I think Nanae cracked the code, and it was like if you slap each other, the crowd will wake up. So they were just throwing them. There were some big boots. Chika is doing the big boots now too. MIRAI was doing some. I thought it was a really, really good match. I thought they worked really good together. MIRAI, holy shit.
My ace.
Just holy
That's
shit.
the ace right there.
Yeah.
She's
the one.
She's a different level from everyone right now, it feels like, in Marigold. She feels like she's on the best in the world type level if she gets the right match to do it, right? Like, if she had her and Bozilla feels like the big match for her to be like, "Yeah, I'm here, by the way, everyone." Yeah, this was my favorite match of the show. Go Chica. They followed the recipe of the MIRAI Koki and Mari match a bit from the Dream Star of, listen, you're not going to do your usual stuff. You're going to hit me as hard as you can, and you're going to grow from it. MIRAI is like the best wrestler for these matches. That's not the passion injection matches per se, because she cares a lot. Like she cares so much, and you see it in her face. When she starts chopping the hell out of Gochika, it's like, yeah, she wants you to come right back and hit her just as hard. And watching Gochika, and someone pointed this out in the Discord, she didn't do any hip attacks or anything. This was very different from her, right? She kind of went away from her usual offense that she uses to get along in her matches and focused on the strikes and the big boots and the lariats, which again, I think is her bread and butter to being successful in the long run. So MIRAI got Chikagoto good at one point. Chikagoto was bleeding from the nose like crazy. But this was really good and just a step in the right direction for Go Chica, while reminding, I think, myself and everyone else that MIRAI has really embodied the ace figure more than I think anyone since day one.
Yeah, I mean, and she cut a promo afterwards. I know it's got a bit of traction, where she was like crying in the post match and talking about how like she wants to make Marigold a place that can charm you with pro wrestling. She said, you know, the level here isn't good enough, which kind of follows what Utami said last week about how the rookies in the company are letting them down. And Mirai is one half of the trainers in the company, so I think her
Yeah.
saying it definitely came from a place of, I and we need to make this a better place, and I as a leader need to make this a better place that can, house the best pro wrestling on the planet. Um, and I definitely think you saw that in this match with Chica, where she
Mhm.
was just treating this like it was a Corkin, like it was a pay-per-view. Like she was not taking the night off at all.
Yeah. It feels like they're using shitty discourse from people and trying to turn into a positive for themselves, if that makes sense.
Hmm.
Obviously it's been talked a lot about things with this company and a lot of people don't like it and whatever, who cares? Um, but they're using it, I think, to hopefully better everyone, if that makes sense. Um, because like you said, Tommy cut a similar promo, now Mirai's cutting this really emotional promo. Um, and you can see she means every word. So in the long run, I think it'll be beneficial to everyone. Again, I watch Marigold to watch the wrestlers grow, right?
Hmm.
Yes, you're gonna have that really good match. I think everyone, there's always one really good match on each show, and the rest of them are, all right. Let's see what steps you make here and what steps you make there when you're in the ring with these other people. Um, and I like that, but some people just feel the need to tear them apart instead, which I just think is so lame and loser behavior, but that's besides the point. Um, and I'm hoping with Mirai, kind of being open about it that again, this is a chance for a lot of these wrestlers to take it to heart and improve, from someone they respect. So
Yeah.
we'll see how it goes. But I'm excited for the Korakuen this week, and I thought the next match was kind of a step in the right direction again of just showcasing what this company has at the top right now, especially with their youngest competitors.
Yeah, so in our next one, Misa Matsui, Seri Amioka, and Victoria Yuzuki wrestled to a 15-minute draw. And I thought this was a really strong match. It was a lot of Seri and Yuzuki. Matsui was kind of playing up the heel
Mm,
character and was like dodging them a lot. And it was a lot of singles spots, which I think is probably because Seri isn't ready for like three-way matches, like a fluid
sure.
three-way match. So they just kind of broke it down into one-on-ones. But I did think a lot of what Seri and Yuzuki did was really, really good. Seri is just kind of all the way there now for me. They're just letting her be a wrestler, and she is
Welcome to
she
the
is a really good
club.
wrestler. I just like her forearms are too good for her to be doing grapples. Like just throw those forearms. But like her and Yuzuki were just going at it, and you could tell this was like a "We Are the Future" kind of thing. And then
Mhm.
Matsui would kind of come in and intercept every now and then, and just be a little shithead. It was just really
She's a
really
great
strong. She is a
shithead.
great shithead. Yeah. But like this was probably the match. If you haven't seen anything else
Yeah,
from the show, I would probably just say watch that.
yeah. Between this and the other one, the one before it, I was really like,
Yeah.
this is what you wanna see from these shows. Yeah, Matsui's awesome in her role. I know some people were against maybe the heel turn initially, but it feels like she's in the right role right now. Um, Especially because she seems to be protected too at the same
Mhm.
time, and the way that faction is growing now, it seems like she'll be very protected moving forward, which is great. Um, yeah, I mean, she gave those 2 a chance to breathe against one another, which is in a way, if you the way I look at it is like, again, practice for the big title match this week
Yeah.
as well, because, they're gonna get a lot of focus too. Um, yeah, I mean, I don't think I've been on this show definitely haven't since Yamaoka's debut. I'm obviously a big fan of hers. I think she is going to just keep getting better and better and better in a very quick manner. She just shows signs of like, okay, if you put this together and this together, you're gonna be insane, type stuff. Like when she hits the Germans, like, okay, she nails those perfectly. When she hits the forearms, she get those perfectly. I saw she was working with like Shinya Aoki all of a
Yeah.
sudden. I saw it pop up and I was like, okay, that's random, but I mean, makes sense for her background. But she feels like if you keep piecing together what she does best for now, and then in the long run adds the, more wrestler background stuff, it's just going to benefit her more. And Yuzuki Suzuki, I mean, I can't sing this girl's praises more than I already do. She's great. So yeah, this was fun. Very excited for the title match, and Misa Matsui's a dick in the best way possible.
Yeah, she's great. Our main event then was Bozilla and Megaton wrestling to a double countout with Chiaki and Nagisa Nozaki in the main event. This was the most Oedo coded match ever. They tried to lock Bozilla out of the ring. A lot of brawling. Megaton. When Megaton eventually hits that Megaton drop, it will get the biggest pop in human history. Yeah, it was just chaos, just really fun, honestly.
Yeah, it was essentially just a segment. Like that's what it wasn't. Like it
Yeah,
was to work to the end, which was just a double count out. So like that's the way I looked at it. Like you said, it was fun. They all work together very well, which is good because they have to now. So, um, I know you're very excited about this. I know Dylan's very excited about this. I'm sure this is like the one thing Dylan probably wanted to talk about this
yeah.
week.
He
So
said we could do it next week, so I don't know.
no, can't. Sorry. Um, but yeah, I mean, gone is the Dark Wolf Army, I guess, and here's Darkness Revolution. Is it
Revolution, yeah. So
Darkness Revolution? Very
Darkness
exciting.
Revolution. So after the match, Nozaki got on the mic and was like, "Hey, Bozilla, you really shouldn't have left us. Like, we're still chill. How about you
He was
join up?"
true. He's
And
real for that.
yeah, Bozilla was like, "Yeah, sure, I guess." And then Megaton spoke, and then Chiaki got some microphone time. But they all agreed to join together as a 5-woman faction known as Darkness Revolution, which is probably the first major move I think Marigold has made,
Yep.
um, and probably kickstarts a lot of stuff. I would imagine
Mhm.
other factions follow. I think naturally you're going to have a babyface unit to oppose them, but I do think Utami is definitely moving in a way that indicates she's going to do some sort of faction too.
Mhm.
Um, and I'm very interested by Darkness Revolution because I and everybody else was kind of on the mindset that Bozilla's visa is up in May. She's too good a prospect to not get signed, and so she's likely
Mhm.
just going to get signed. But there's no smoke in the water to that. Like there was a report yesterday about WWE being interested in Rio and like man like Darius, and usually there'd be smoke to Bozilla joining WWE. That would have leaked as well for sure. But because it's so silent, I'm starting to wonder if she will be available after May, and if they're going to look into extending her visa and using this faction as a way to push her. Because if not for her, who else is this group for? You know?
Mhm. Yeah, it feels like her rejoining opens the door for her sticking around longer.
Yeah, because it would be stupid to kick her out again in 2 months. Like that's what you'd have to do. You'd have to kick her out in
Yeah.
May and have
Unless
somebody
she
assume.
just, like, naturally left. Like, "Oh, I'm gone. See you
That's
guys."
wasted potential though. So you'd have
Yeah,
to kick her out. But
yeah.
like it would be a bit silly. So I do wonder if Bozilla maybe will be around a lot longer than we were all thinking, just because WWE doesn't seem to be sniffing around in the way we all kind of
Yeah,
expected.
they should stay away. It's the least they can
Um,
do.
but yeah, I
Um,
like the name Darkness Revolution. It's kind of like cool, but it's not too cool. Like they're not trying hard. They're just like, yeah, we're Darkness Revolution. Um, I'm sure the
I
merch
like
will
it.
be fun. I'm sure the vibes will be fun. And I just like that we're getting somewhere with Marigold. I think this is something that they've needed. I think this will give a
Yeah.
lot of people purpose and direction and a very easy kind of thing to fit into. So I really like the move.
Yeah, not to piss off Dylan, but I'm gonna piss off Dylan. He'll never hear this, it's fine.
No.
Um, Dark Wolf Army had to change because then that presented Chiaki as the leader to me, and I don't think they want to present that, right? Because the Dark Wolf thing's her thing,
Yeah.
So I think Darkness Revolution is new. It's different. It's something like you said, not too cool, but pretty strong name. And to Bozilla, I would very much like her to stay around. And if she is staying around past May, which again we're just assuming, she should be winning one of the top 2 titles very soon.
Yeah,
Like
I
that
would
would
agree.
be the direction I'd go. Like I wouldn't even like if she beat Tommy, I wouldn't even hesitate. I wouldn't. It
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't upset me. Because I think that'd be a fascinating story and more interesting maybe for Utami right now because she doesn't really
Yeah.
have a direction besides she was the obvious person to beat Syuri. Um, but yeah, with Bozilla, it's like she's only scratched the surface,
Mm-hmm.
and if she's not going to go to WWE, why go anywhere else besides here? You know, like
Yeah.
I know she probably wants to go to America eventually and whatnot,
Yeah,
but
see, I say a lot of what I said because I had heard she was asking American promoters about her visa. So she's
okay,
clearly looking for dates for the next year or so. Um,
sure,
which kind of I'd imagine she does want to do some of those, but like you're not going to get a lot of joy in Europe. Um,
right.
so either
And
she'd
she's a
have to
big
relocate
star.
to America or do Joshi.
Yeah. I hope she sticks around because she
Hmm.
obviously belongs, I think. But yeah, I guess we'll see.
Yeah.
I'm hopeful that joining a faction means good news if you're a Bozilla fan, which I think most people are at this stage. And she got the big match this week, so
Oh yeah.
we'll see where she goes from here. But it's fun to have a faction now.
Yes.
That's my big takeaway from this weekend of shows. It's like, all right, we have one. Now this
Oh
starts the rest of them,
yeah.
At least I think so. We'll see though.
Um, we have the preview section now. On the 20th, we have Marigold New Year's Golden Garden 2025. They're getting a lot of runtime out of that name. We open with Rei Seto and Riara versus Yuki Minami and Ryoko Sakamura. This is honestly fascinating because I think a lot of them are slot very similar to one another. Like
Mm.
Riara could lose, Ryoko could lose, Rhea could even lose. I think maybe Yuki Minami wins, pins somebody.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
sure. She's the rookie of the year, so
yeah, that's her whole thing. So
yeah.
possibly. We're gonna have the most over match on the planet now. Ishikawa versus Megaton. Uh, this is going to have the crowd in bits.
Yeah.
But yeah, now is probably winning. So
Oh, I mean, Megaton should never win. Like that,
yeah,
unless it's like a tag match, she
yeah,
should never I don't think she should win. Because that's the bit.
that
Because
is true.
eventually she will, but like do it a long time down the road because she's just over by being Megaton. Um,
Yeah,
I mean, this is gonna be very funny. And it's like you said, it's gonna be loud and people are gonna be into it. It'll be funny to see who gets rooted for more because they're both like beloved by a Marigold crowd.
probably Megaton if I had to
Yeah, you're
guess.
probably right. I mean, she is funny.
Yeah,
That goes a long way.
this looking at this card, it's reminding me how many people are missing because yeah, there's no Hummingbird, no Tachibana,
No Yamada.
no Yamada, no Kazuna, which I'm pleasantly surprised at no Kazuna. I thought they would
Yes.
rush her back, but they seem to be
Giving
taking
her
her
all the
time.
time, which
Yeah,
is
which is
good.
good.
No,
But our next
Komomo
no Koki,
Minami either,
obviously.
but obviously
Oh
she
yeah,
destroyed
Komomo.
her knee
Yeah.
as well.
Um,
So.
our next match
She's
is
making strides, man.
yes,
Making
Chi-
strides.
Chikugoto, Natsumi Suzuki, and Miko Aono versus Darkness Revolutions, Chiaki, Nagisa Nozaki, and Misa Matsui. I expect Misa Matsui to win this one, and I think who she pins will tell us where she slots in. If she pins
Mm,
Chika, then she's just a normal mid card wrestler. But if she pins
mhm,
either of the main two, I think that's then
mm.
somebody to look forward to.
I'd have her pin Suzuki.
Same, yeah.
It's
I
the
would just go with
rivalry
that.
too, so I think that'd be a good spot. This kind of
Matsui
kicks
is
off
probably the
4
number
big
two.
matches.
Like Matsui is probably the number two-ish, like 2.5 of this group. Because Nozaki part-time is never going to get fully pushed in this. So yeah,
Right,
I
but she's
think you
also
want to
never gonna get
establish
pinned.
Matsui.
So it's like,
No,
That's
But I
why
think a strong
2.5
top
I think
3
is fair.
is good.
Yeah, I think that Matsui should be the one getting the pin here.
Yeah.
I think that's like first and foremost the most important part. Um, I'm sure it's just Gochika getting pinned, but if she pins Shizuki, it kind of sends a sign. I feel like these top 4 matches are like as strong of a top 4 as they've had in a while too. So, because I do think this
Yes,
trios
definitely.
match is exciting because of the Darkness Revolution aspect, and
Mhm.
we'll see kind of how the Darkness Revolution works for a big singles after
Yeah,
this too.
that's
Like,
true.
how much involvement will they have?
We have a challenger decision match for Utami's world title. Mirai takes on Bozilla. Um, I think Bozilla wins just because the Darkness Revolution are the
Yeah.
hot new thing, and also I don't think Mirai is a Korakuen challenger. I think Mirai is eventually a Sumo Hall or Oat Award challenger more
Mhm.
than anything. So I don't think Mirai wins here, and we were kind of assuming Bozilla might extend her stay, but if she doesn't, then you're gonna have to do the Utami match ASAP.
Yep.
So
Yep.
Bozilla.
This match is gonna be awesome.
Yeah.
That's my take. I mean, when I saw it announced, it's like one of those times you see the match graphic and you're like, "Oh, alright, here we
Yeah.
go." Because Bozilla and Korakuen's like a lock, at this point. It's like, that's gonna be a great match. That's what Bozilla does at
Is
Korakuen
Nanae
Hall.
not? Oh no, obviously Nanai's on the show.
And I
Stupid.
was like, Nanae's in the main event. And Mirai is kinda similar, like, she always puts
Mhm.
out great performances, and she's gonna be the baby face and trying to overcome the monster, which I think she'll
Yeah.
be great at. They'll run into each other a few times with lariats, and everyone will scream. Or when I say everyone, I mean myself and Alex at least.
Yes.
And being pumped. Um, I think for anyone that didn't see the press conference, Bozilla's like, I didn't want to face you at all. And then you brought up the world title. I was like, all right, cool, I'm in. I was like, see, that's a valid promo right there.
Yeah.
Like, that's how you heal. She was just like, yeah, I didn't give a shit until you wanted me to win the world title. And I was like, oh, bet. I like the number one contenders match. I think that's
Mhm.
a good way for them to go with these Korakuens. It's kind of having it doesn't always have to be an official number one contenders match, but I'm for it, especially when it comes to these two, because besides Utami, it's these two essentially as their big three right now. So I'm into it.
Yeah. Um,
And Mai, I
I
guess.
yeah. Speaking
Maya's
of,
in the weird spot, by the way. She's not main evented once, which I think is interesting.
well, not since losing the Twin Star, no.
Despite winning the United National, but it's Nanae's retirement road, so
That is true,
it's not
yeah.
that big.
So we have the United National Championship. Mai Sakurai defends against Chanyota. They've kind of done it in the promos. Mai Sakurai was like, "Oh, if you lose, you'll have to become my personal trainer," which I think is their way of making them a pairing.
She just wants to get
On
yoked, but
shows. Hmm?
she just wants to get yoked. She wants to
Yeah,
get
that too.
strong. Like,
But
my
I do
Sakurai muscle
imagine
woman?
that
Question
is the
mark.
right. But yeah, I'd imagine that's the kayfabe reason for Chanyota and her like teaming going forward.
Mm,
This will probably be great. I mean, Chanyota looked fantastic against Nanae, and I think Mai Sakurai will bring a similar level of like violence to the match.
mm.
Um, so yeah, I think the finishing stretch of this particularly will probably be fantastic.
2025, the year of Chanyota. That's all I'm saying.
Hell
That's
yeah.
all I got to say. This is I've seen Chanyota wrestle more in the past month than I think I did all of last year.
Yeah, she took
Um,
a long time off for her bodybuilding thing last year.
and now she's locked into pro wrestling. So
Yeah.
this should be the start, like you said, kind of her being involved a bit more moving forward. At least
Mhm.
on the Tokyo shows would be
Yeah.
my hope. Her and Mai Sakurai eventually challenging for the tag belts would be really cool.
God
Um,
bless.
but yeah, Chinyo's not going to win, but imagine she did.
I like how
Pretty
you,
cool.
for both white belts, you've been like, imagine they just V0 it.
Well,
Like,
Mai
what
has a
if?
defense.
Does she?
She defended against Nozaki. Yeah,
Oh yeah, shit, yeah, okay.
see,
Yeah, never
so it can
mind.
happen. We got a V. We got a V1 already. We're good.
All right. Yeah, that is that match. Our main event then, Twin Star Tag Championships. Nanae Takahashi and Seri Yamaoka defends against Utami Hayashishita and Victoria Yuzuki. I kind of thought earlier this might be a TLD because the last time Utami challenged for these belts, it went to a draw. There are two interesting results. One is Yuzuki over Nanae, which I don't think they do, because then your tag belts are on your world champion, which is a pain in the arse, or Syuri over Yuzuki, and to really kickstart the rivalry between those two.
Yeah, I'm thinking that. I think that's exactly what happens. I think you're onto it. I think obviously this match is fascinating. So when this match was coming together, I was wondering, how do you build the undercard of a Korakuen with this being your main, right?
Yeah, they
'Cause you
salvaged
have
it really well.
They did. They did. They had 3 titles mixed into this match, and I was like, "Oh boy, that's gonna be tough." And they did a great job. Um, for me, this is Yamaoka against both Utami and Yuzuki in a big match. That's a big deal, and they're gonna focus on both. It helps when you have Nanae to take the load off as well, but this is gonna be a lot of Yamaoka selling too. That's kind of her thing, which she's very good at. Or she's just obviously very in pain. I don't one of the two. Every time I watch her, I'm like, is she actually hurt or is she selling? Like when she won the title last time, I was terrified she hurt herself, and she just was fine. I think you're right though. I think Syuri pinning Yuzuki is the direction they go, because it obviously gives her the first big win over her and creates that rivalry to build on moving forward, because that's going to be the big rivalry here. I'm hoping Utami and Nanae just lock in and beat the piss out of each other like they have before at Cork and Hall. But yeah, this match should be great. And as long as they don't do the time limit draw, I feel pretty good about it. And I don't think they will, because it's the main event. That's kind of my main reasoning for not doing the time limit draw. But of course, we'll see. But I think you were onto it. I think Yamaoka pins Yuzuki. And gets the big win here in her second straight Cork and Hall main event.
Yeah, I think that would be the most interesting way. Yuzuki is very much a scrapper, and I think giving her a natural rival in Seri would be pretty good for her long term. Um, I think her getting a win over Nanae is something that should happen in the next few months, but I just wouldn't do it here. I don't think Tami having the world title and tag belts is a good idea, unless, as I've been saying, she does start a Queen's Quest type faction, and it's her,
Mhm.
Yuzuki, and maybe Seri or maybe somebody else, and then you can kind of tell the story of their dominance. But
Sure.
I don't think they're going to go for that. So
Yeah, I think you're right. I think with Utami, if Utami and Yuzuki won, which I don't think is happening, but if they did, um, I think best case, yes, everything is going off in my house. My dog's barking, the doorbell's going off. I think for me, that could lead to an Utami world title dropping, if that's the case, which is fascinating. Because I don't know, there's something about the Bozilla match that just is like, maybe there's an opportunity there if she's staying a bit longer, because maybe, but I don't know. This is just me throwing things at the wall and seeing what sticks. But I'm very excited for the show. I'm very excited for this match, and I just think there could be interesting dynamics to follow from this match too. And I would like to see Utami like establish someone next to her, whether that's Koki or Yuzuki moving forward. Like you said, kind of as the Queen's Quest type faction. Um, and I think these two make a lot of sense, unless a certain someone comes around, then maybe Yuzuki's gonna want to team with her more. But we'll see when that time comes around.
all right. And that is that show. Very fascinating, Corkin. It is on the 20th, so it's a bit of a weird day. It's in 2 days' time, on a Thursday. Not ideal for me as a viewer and a lot of people, but you know what? It's appointment viewing regardless. So that's all we need. And hopefully, coming out of it, we have a good build up for March and kind of the ensuing shows, because they are running Yoyogi in May, and I think they're going to have to start revving up for that pretty soon. But I think they're doing a good job with that already. Honestly, I think the Shinjuku Face show was the first like pebble in the inevitable
Mhm.
landslide. So I'll have to see.
Landslide sounds bad.
Well, yeah, well, it was the only thing I could think of to make it work.
I guess that's fair. When's their okay? So their next Korakuen's not until Sunday the 30th. So they're going
Oh,
over a month
that was
without one. They
off.
do have a Shinjuku Face show though, on the
Mm,
11th. So that will be
yeah,
the midpoint
they
at
should definitely
least.
do a smaller challenger or two.
Yeah. So Bozilla probably waits until the 30th. I could see someone maybe step up to Mai Sakurai for that Shinjuku Face show
Yeah,
though.
that or
Now
another
Ishikawa,
dream
anyone?
show.
Anyone? Come on.
Yeah.
Oh,
Um.
they're onto a new little tour too after this. It's the
ye-
Victory Series.
Oh,
Bring
really? Oh, it says Golden Garden on the tweet.
sorry. This weekend's the last bit. My apologies. You were right. Whatever. We've gone
Oh
too
yeah,
long.
Victory Series on March 1st. Oh yeah, okay. So on the 22nd, they're running in the Osaka 176 box. We open with Seri versus Rhea. That is a match they couldn't get
Hey.
to do in Sendai. I imagine there's a storyline reason for that. They must want to do
Mm,
something coming out of that if they're running it back.
she just
Um,
squashes her.
hopefully, maybe that'd be cool.
Hopefully. That's great.
Though they might do something cool coming out of
That'd
that.
be kind of awesome though.
Yeah.
She
We
meets
then
her
have
quicker
my
than Nanae did.
oh my god. We have Mai Sakurai versus Riara, which is a win for Mai, and she will be working down. So very intrigued by that. We have our standard Osaka appearance from Flying Penguin as she takes on Ryoko Sakamura. Oh boy.
Yeesh.
Yeah. We have Mirai and Victoria Yuzuki versus Chikugoto and Minami Yuki, which is actually pretty good. I think that's a obvious win for Mirai and Yuzuki.
Mm. I like that
Uh,
duo. I like Mirai with a lot of different people, but I think
yeah,
that's a really good duo.
Dylan's always like, oh, her and Matsu are a cool tag team. I'm like, her and everybody is a cool tag team. It's Mirai.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's just Mirai's kind of thing. She
Yeah.
works with everyone.
We have Miko Ono and Natsumi Suzuki versus Chiaki and Misa Matsui. Yeah, it's interesting. Maybe Ono and Suzuki pin Chiaki. I feel like they have to get a twin star shot eventually, so maybe
I feel
they're
like that,
the
yeah.
yeah, maybe they're the March challengers, so they win here, pick up
That
a
could be the
few dubs.
Shinjuku face main instead.
Hmm. I guess. I don't know if
But
I
they
feel
like
like
to do
Iono
that
versus
for
Iono and Nanae in any capacity should probably be a Korakuen.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Well, they have the world title match. I'm just trying to think like,
Oh shit, yeah, yeah,
they should do that though. They should pack that because
definitely.
that feels like the last big Korakuen before Yogi.
Yeah, I don't
Um,
know. I know they have one in early May, but that'll probably be a preview show.
yeah. All right, cool. Happy we decided
Um,
that for them.
yeah. We have Utami Hayashishita and now Shikawa versus Bozilla and Megaton, which is probably a win for Utami. Also, yeah, that is a big indicator that Bozilla is winning the number one contenders match. It's her immediately against Utami.
Yeah, you make a good point. I mean, that's fine.
Yeah.
I didn't think Mariah had much of a shot. So
No.
as long as they have a cool match, I'm fine with it. And it'll be interesting to see if Mariah loses clean or how
Mm,
heel it gets.
I think she can afford to lose clean against Bozilla.
Yeah,
It'll be all right.
you probably. I just ultimately want Mariah to be champion at the end of
Yeah,
all this. You know,
that is
like
fair.
Super Run Mariah feels inevitable and necessary in the long run. So I don't need to wait to the Dream Star for that.
Well, yeah, because see, I've always thought that a certain icon would win the Dream Star, but now I'm very unsure. Um, it's hard to kind of know
It's hard to
what
be
the
sure
plan
about
is.
anything with any tournament this year,
Yeah, yeah, no, that's very fair. Except for Tam
which
winning
is
the
a
five
good
star,
thing.
that is locked in. Um, um, but
Said
yeah,
that last year,
let's.
to be fair.
That is true. It felt
I think she
right,
went 0
in
6.
fairness. Won the belt
Well, we
anyway.
were right. She was winning the belt. We
Yeah.
just didn't know it would be in the silliest way.
Yeah, that is fun. Um,
It was not fun.
that's
I was in pain.
no, but this is fun. This coming week is fun. But
Yeah,
yeah,
that's true.
I'll be back with Dylan. And I assume to review all this stuff. Probably focusing on the Utsonomiya pay per view and the Marigold Korakuen, and we will look ahead to the show in Tobu and another one in Maebashi from Marigold. And I think Stardom has New Blood the week after. So the world never stops in Joshi. That is for sure. But Scott, you want to plug all of your stuff?
Yeah. First off, thank you for having me. I'll see everyone at the 5-star preview because I'm not coming back before that. Sorry, Dylan. Breaking news. I'm not. So good luck, Alex, when Dylan needs another break.
Thanks.
Or like, one of you guys actually have to do something, can't record. But yeah, I'll see you all at the 5-star preview. For me, what do I want to plug today? You can check out my YouTube channel, youtube.com/@ScottEWrestling. I'll have a interview up there for the first time with Hanan, which is very exciting. We're talking about her time back in Marvelous at the end of last year, as well as her upcoming big matches in like Pandemonium and other places. She's been very busy, so happy to talk to her. She's been wrestling a lot of Joshi wrestlers too, so it's good timing. And then, check out the Joshi Informer newsletter if you want to know everything going on in the world of Joshi. That is a thing. The JoshiInformer.substack.com is where you find it. It's been going on for 2 weeks, drops every Friday morning. So if you want to try to keep up and you can't follow everything, that's what that's there for. And hopefully we can point out some matches worth your time and so on and so forth. So yeah, thank you again, Alex, for having me. And I'm looking forward to this upcoming week of wrestling. Looks really, really good. Happy to have previewed that with you and rambled and rambled and rambled like Dylan would want me to.
That is the ethos of the show. But thanks for coming on, and we will definitely have you for the GP review. Probably both of them. You never know. But with that, it is time to close the show. So if you want to stand, you may stand. If you want to sit, you may sit. Believe today, shine tomorrow. You decide what you believe in. Ijo.
Ijo.